So Intel is one of the major US microchip makers, okay? And the huge irony of this is that it lives in Santa Clara in California, which is where NVIDIA set up shop. Intel's going, what the hell are you doing here? Anyway, they live rather uneasily side by side now. And as you know, NVIDIA is the microchip making company of our era because it's the one making these very advanced, very expensive AI microchips. But Intel, if you go back 20 years, I was present when they launched the Centrino mobile chip, which is very exciting, down on 34th Street there. And what that did, it allowed laptops to be mobile for the very first time. Up until that point, laptops had to have a cord into the wall, but the Centrino changed all that. So Intel, very, very important company. Under the Biden administration in the last 4 years, they drummed up something called the CHIPS Act, which was to support companies like Intel and also to prevent no more supply chain issues. Because if you remember, we had real microchip supply chain issues in and around the COVID thing that happened. So yesterday, the New York Times, which is just even today when it lands on your doorstep, it's that thick. It's a thick newspaper. And the New York Times is reporting that the administration in Washington, D.C. is about to trim the money it was going to give to Intel by quite a lot. And the reason is there are woes about Intel. There are concerns about its competitiveness in the market today and its failure to build some factories which it apparently promised it would do. So they're presumably going to lose some of the funds and the credits and the tax breaks associated with the CHIPS Act, according to the Times. Now, it's a blow for Intel. As you said, they're axing 15,000 jobs to cut costs. They're splitting their design division from their foundry, which is where they actually make the microchips. But now this is where it gets complicated, because late news is reaching me here. Other people are now reporting that Intel is close to agreeing an $8 billion deal with the federal government. So that would seem more than the New York Times was indicating yesterday. So we'll watch it very closely. But for that reason, Intel shares are up about 3% right now, whereas you might have expected them to be down.